Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. So, we've talked about Smurfs not too long ago, but here we are again. Back in the original video, we mostly wanted to present the facts and the two different sides of the argument in an attempt to make more people aware of the reason as to why Smurfs are created, what problems they actually create, and what is just myths around Smurfs that needed busting. In this video, we won't be talking as much about defining Smurfs and understanding why people create them, but instead take a step back, look at how big the issue really is and what Jeff Kaplan actually thinks about this. Just recently, Jeff went on another posting spree, and amongst the replies he made this time, he talked about Smurfs in quite a lengthy comment. I won't read the whole thing in this video, but rather highlight some key points and talk about those. Just reading the whole post seems a bit pointless, and even though this post was quite long, I feel like some of the stuff that Jeff said actually needs some elaborating. But yeah, let's get started with this video. So, to begin with, Jeff Kaplan brings up boosting versus smurfing, and what is actually the problem and what both of them actually do, and what both of them really mean. So the main thing here is that boosting is a problem, essentially. Boosting is when player A lends his account to player B for it to be boosted in rank, so that player B plays games on that account to rank up the account to the degree where the person that is originally, say, Diamond, is playing in master games. Now this is a problem because obviously the matchmaker just can't do anything about this. It will match this master player in master games when really the Diamond player that owns the account just isn't of that skill level. So if the account isn't banned or the hidden MMR doesn't actually bring the account back down, when the original player is on the account, there's nothing that the matchmaker can really do about it. This creates unfair games and is the core issue around this smurfing and boosting discussion. It's also important to understand here that smurfing and boosting are actually very different things. So long as one player plays on one account and doesn't share it with other people, that account will end up around the same skill level naturally. That's just something that happens organically in the game. Jeff Kaplan also says that boosting is bad and we are very actively working on preventing and punishing this behavior. Routes like the 500 SR differential in comp above Diamond exist because of boosting. There's nothing about boosting that is acceptable, and we want you to know that we are taking great efforts to minimize the impact on fair players. Now of course, the fact that Blizzard are working against this isn't that much of a surprise, but it is important that players know about this. So both Blizzard have actually recognized the issue, but the community knows that Blizzard are working on it and that the community can step in themselves if they know of any boosters or see anyone boosting in their games and admitting of it, that they can then report that account. However, the problem here with boosting is that you won't really ever know if an account is boosted or not, as people do have bad games as well. Jeff Kaplan then goes on to say about smurfing as well that smurfing, and I know this isn't what you want to hear, isn't really that big of an issue. For example, a few weeks ago, one of the pro Overwatch players created a smurf account and was streaming from it. We were able to watch his MMR internally and compare it against his main account. Within 15 games, the MMRs were equal. I know there is very bad perception of smurfing, but the reality is skilled players are moved rapidly out of lower skill situations. Now this is even more important to note, as I've seen Smurfs get reported just for being Smurfs. I've had players on my team see a low-level player on the enemy team that is doing well, and then directly assuming that they are smurfing and reporting their account for reasons that are just irrelevant to the issue. You can't really report someone for cheating when smurfing actually isn't cheating at all. Doing that is flat out wrong, and not only are you accusing what is sort of an innocent player there, but you're also using the report system in the wrong way, which in itself is another issue. So it is important to recognize the problem here, take a step back and have a rational view towards this. And Jeff Kaplan actually talks about this as well in this post. He goes on to say that I've also personally witnessed a few cases of players assuming someone is smurfing when they are not. One of the people I play with is highly skilled. He played a ton in beta, he works on the Heroes of the Storm team and plays heroes most nights, but occasionally he comes and plays Overwatch with us because he really enjoys the game. As a result, he's way lower level than we are. Most of us are 3 to 5 stars and he's about level 30. Every time we group up with him, someone accuses him of being a smurf, but he's not. Now the fact that the game director himself recognizes this problem in this way, I feel is important for the community, because now it's not about Jeff Kaplan just saying, oh, it's not that big of an issue. This is something that a lot of people can relate to. So I hope that maybe next time that you see someone that you think is smurfing on the enemy team, 1, you don't accuse them for it, and 2, maybe you can just reconsider, think again, and maybe that person actually isn't smurfing. This is another problem that I like to talk about quite a lot with games, and I find a lot of people doing, and it is just the fact that people like to find excuses. things. It happens a lot in real life with various things, but also when playing video games. I think even more when playing video games actually. People want to find excuses for doing badly in a game, not having a good match at least, and blame that on either a player on their team or the enemy team, or just another issue that they argue is in the way for them. This in particular isn't something that Blizzard nor I can just magically have disappear, but I hope that maybe this video made at least one or two of you guys that are watching this just take a step back and reconsider and have a different approach towards this issue overall. These are just my personal thoughts though, but I would like to take a stance and just say that at least for me personally, smurfing isn't an issue. It's very much a non-issue that I don't think needs resolving at all. However, boosting is something that we can work against in any way we can, but it is always going to be there as well. I think Overwatch is a very enjoyable game overall anyway, and I definitely don't think that this is something that has ruined my experience with the game at all. If you guys have a different opinion though, then please comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this, as it's definitely a sort of personal opinion rather than right versus wrong. And I also would like to say that once again, thank you Jeff Kaplan for keeping up this incredible communication with the community directly on the forums, replying to people's comments, not just making statements and coming out with open letters to the community, but actually replying personally to a comment that a community member has made. That means so much for a game, and I do hope that Blizzard keep this up. So yeah, I really appreciate these lengthy comments from the game director himself. Alright, that's been it for this time though. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more Overwatch content, and until next time, see ya.